Okay, so now we're talking about solving systems graphically. Now when we say systems or systems of equations, that just means we have two or more graphs that are equations that we're trying to graph. So the first that we're going to use for all three situations that we're going to have, so there are three situations that we can have, I'm going to use this quadratic. Now what we're going to deal with is we're solving systems where I have one quadratic, meaning 1x squared, and then one linear, so one straight line. So the first situation that I'm going to use in blue is where I have no solution. And so if I have no solution, that means that the quadratic and the line never cross. They never cross each other. So there's no solution. So because these are never going to cross ever, we have a situation where there's no solution. Then the hardest one to see sometimes is a situation where I have one solution. So this is like the point where it only hits this one point and one point only. So I have a straight line and a parabola where they only cross at one point and exactly 1 point. Then we have situations where I have two solutions. So that's where I graph my parabola, and then I have a line that goes right through these, and I have two solutions, meaning it crosses at two separate points. So really this isn't that bad because you have three situations. One where we have one solution, or I'm sorry, the first situation where we have no solution, and that means they don't cross at all. A second situation where you have one solution, and that's where I graph both the quadratic and the line, and they only cross or touch at 1 point, and 1 point only. And then the third situation where you have two solutions, where I graph the line and the quadratic, and they cross at two different points. Now, you need to find the calculation where those cross. So how do you do that? There are two ways. One, you can look at your table, and you can look to see where your x and y values are the same for your first function and your second function. So in y equals, you're going to plug in your parabola, or your first equation given, and then that's in y1, your first one. In y2, you plug in your second equation that you're given. And then when you graph, they graph both of them, and you want to see where are these intersecting. Also, in your graphing calculator, another way to look at this is by hitting second calc, and you're looking for the intersect. I think it's option number 5, but I might have just made that up. It could be 3. I don't know. But second calc, and you're looking for intersect, and it'll say first curve and second curve. So you want to see where do those cross, or where are those intersecting. And we'll practice this more in class. But the general idea is there are three situations that you can have: no solution, one solution, or two solutions.